I wanted to share a little bit about the current energy signature that we're sitting in around this solstice energy, particularly related to the southern hemisphere and the winter solstice and this really dark moment in the yearly cycle. I first just wanted to talk about that and just relate this back to the concept of as above, so below, as within, so without, and really just recognizing how the cycles of nature that are outside of us impact us internally as well. And there are many different cycles going on, but one of them that is particularly impactful is the solar rotation and the length of the days. And at the moment we are in a really dark time. We're having shorter days, we're having longer nights, more sleep, more inward energy. It's colder, we come inside, we retreat. And so there's also a sense of retreating internally and into dark spaces, and just considering where that might be showing up for us at the moment. Or it doesn't mean that this is not a creative time. It can be a very creative time, but it's a time of more inward energies and darker times, and more sleeping, heavier foods, staying warm, and staying quiet. It's a good time for meditation. It's a good time for learning new things, for study, for diving into things, and for deepening into things. So this cycle is coinciding with the sun moving into Gemini. So I'm looking at true sky astrology. In tropical astrology, the sun is moving into Cancer, and really I'm seeing both of these energies happening simultaneously, just on different dimensions of existence. The true sky one, though, is a really true reflection of nature and what's happening up there in the sky in relation to us down here on Earth, while the tropical Western astrology going into Cancer is based on a system rooted in Western history. But they really are both existing at once, and also the energy of Cancer is heightened because Jupiter has just moved into Cancer, which is its home sign, and it's quite happy there. So Gemini, whilst we might be in this kind of dark inward time, the Gemini energy is very fast moving, and it loves to chat, it loves to talk things out, it loves to learn, read, chats on the phone, sharing ideas, comparing ideologies, curiosity, lots of questions, lots of seeking and searching of information, and also sharing information. It's a really good time to just pick up the phone and call someone, and also just like quick, short little trips, little bursts of energy, lots of ideas floating around. On some level, this Gemini energy is really available to us at the moment. It would be a really good time to be learning new things and talking about things and sharing ideas and information. On top of that, the Cancer energy is really homey. It's like nurturing. It's making the home space really nice. It's making our physical, emotional home really comfortable as well. So what are our needs? It's servicing other people's needs. It's nurturing the self. It's nurturing our family and our home environment, making it a really safe environment emotionally, being attuned to how other people are feeling. With Jupiter there, I'd say it's a really good time for like home improvement things, or expanding the safety and the space at home, and the qualities of nurturing others and nurturing the self. But the thing that I am really kind of contemplating at this time, at this dark time that is full of contemplation, is this ongoing relationship between Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. These are 3 outer planets that have been in a quite harmonious relationship for quite a while now, even a year, and it kind of like fluctuates as the angles perfect and then fall away, and then other planets interact with those planets as they're moving around the sun. But looking at this and just being in this contemplative dark moment in the year, in the yearly cycle, in this inward cycle, I've been contemplating how this has been showing up in my life, and this is a large scale collective restructuring of our spiritual belief systems, of our relationship to oneness, our relationship to compassion and forgiveness and empathy. Some of these really big spiritual systems of belief, religion, collective humanitarian works, how we can service energy. And whilst these are harmonious aspects, there can be challenges in the transformation of these elements of ourselves. They're obviously deeply rooted in a lot of history and ancestral pain, and a lot of shifts that are happening at the moment around religion and spirituality and collective relationships. I suppose we could probably actually see this unfolding in relationship to war that's happening at the moment, and maybe challenging ourselves to be compassionate in the face of what's happening on a global level, and finding that forgiveness, and obviously not saying that it's okay what's happening and obviously knowing that it's wrong, but can we find a space of acceptance and surrender in our hearts to what is happening, and also have empathy and compassion for everybody that's involved in the situation, not just kind of picking sides, but actually just being in forgiveness for the people that are orchestrating things, that are killing people, because we can have compassion for where they're at or how their lives have been. And on a more personal level, this could be, different belief systems that we have that are crumbling in the face of caring for people in different groups than us, that belong to different sects. And it's a time where community and humanitarianism is also coming into the front. While it might not be happening directly for you in relationship to the war, it might be happening in relationship to your community and your ideas around service and care, and just the good of being a human and wanting to be in relationship to others and feel connected. It doesn't necessarily have to be God or religion. It can actually just be about connection and connecting to people, and recognizing the other as a part of us, and this interconnection between humanity and nature and the earth, and how we wouldn't even exist here. None of this could be possible if it wasn't for the earth and the water and the air and the fire, like the elemental energies. Even in me just sitting here talking to this phone that's made of metal that's been mined from the ground, and the earth that I'm sitting on and the air that I'm breathing, just recognizing this connection to everything and our place within it all. It could be happening for us all in very different ways depending where this is activated in our charts, but another kind of collective theme is this restructuring energy. So more like over summer, I think it was in February when Saturn came along, there was a deconstruction of our belief systems, and within that there's a rebuilding of them, but also just contemplating what what has changed for me in relationship to spiritual practice or my belief systems and my connection to everything. This could also be in relationship to institutions, to schools, to hospitals. What is being, deconstructed in order for a new structure that's better for the current situation for me and the things around me to function within in relationship to my connection to belief systems and spirit, my ideas around this kind of stuff. One example that I can give from my life is like just a simple one of in the morning, my practice has changed. I stopped meditating after 10 years of meditating, and I just had a period of time, some months over summer, where I just wasn't really meditating, and it felt really important to drop the relationship that I had to meditation and to kind of clean the slate of any outdated motivations underlying why I meditated that just weren't relevant anymore. And I was kind of just sifting through that stuff and refinding my motivation again, and in that process felt very connected to connecting with a different lineage of meditation, and so that's definitely something that's changed for me. Also just the way that I practice in the morning, that the physical space that I'm in is different, and the type of physical exercise that I'm doing is different. And some more fundamental belief systems about life. An example that I could think of was I can be a very optimistic person, and I can have a lot of hope, and I have always believed that we could wake up as a species, as a collective. I believed that there was potential in this lifetime for everybody to wake up and recognize our connection to each other and come into a harmonious, loving community, like big community. And over the last probably year, I think that idea has just been slowly eroding away in different ways, and I've really come to see that okay, that's probably not going to happen. And just accepting that we are in a dark age, and that there are cycles upon cycles, but some of these bigger cycles of awakening and darkness and the Kali Yuga, and really just accepting where we are in that cycle as a collective, and that's okay. And I think there's actually been quite a relief for me in that there's not this kind of really immense task to do as an individual, but as an individual placed within a society, but actually that it's more about just keeping this flame of awareness alive throughout a time, and there's been a relaxation in needing to produce or do, or there's just been a more humbling into life, into living, into being connected with where I am and what I'm doing. Just offering this space for contemplation. I'd love to hear if anyone wants to share with me some things that have been changing for you as this kind of long-term cycle of planetary connections unfolds, and we're probably coming into a little bit more stabilization now than it has been over the last 6 months ago, even a year, when these angles were really getting lit up, and things were being kind of broken or destabilized in our lives or our minds, that could have related to our identity within these structures of our belief systems. So just offering this little contemplation as we reside in relationship to the planetary bodies above on this earth body here, in relationship to the sun, and this tilt, this Earth's tilt that has us in the southern hemisphere particularly far away at this time of year, in the dark outer space energy of the winter solstice. And just coming into remembrance that the forces outside of us, the natural forces outside of us, reflect back cycles that are happening within us. And when we can have the moment, like these solstice energies are, to slow down and connect to those cycles within and without, there's an opportunity to really connect to an organic timeline and an organic self that's occurring, and move from that space and allow that space to continue to open as we sit with it and as we connect with it, and just really reside there in our hearts, connected to the pleasure of creativity and the pleasure of life and the pleasure of existing here on this planet amongst this crazy world. So just offering that as my solstice blessing to everybody.